Hello everyone. This is a segmented no-damage playthrough of Super Mario Bros. 1 on the original Nintendo. So the objective of this playthrough is to collect all the coins and go through all the secrets, which you actually cannot do in one playthrough. So I basically just save-stated between levels in order to be able to get all the secrets, to be able to replay them, show off all the secrets and whatnot. Of course, this all wasn't done in one take, but hopefully this should help to serve as a reference for your own playthrough, should you decide to. A no commentary version of this can be found in the pinned comment in the comments section below. So for the first route of 1-1, you know, there's the pipe. Everyone knows the pipe. So as I mentioned before, this is done on a real Nintendo with an RGB mod and an EverDrive, which is how I'm able to save state on a console. But anyway, so normal route. Thing about the hidden blocks, the ones you can hit over and over again, and still be able to get like a shit ton of coins. You have to do it within a certain amount of time. Like from the first time you hit the block, there's a little timer that counts down, and you can generally hit it up to 15 times before it runs out of coins. But that's only if you are very, very, very tight in your timing. So there were only 2 routes in 1-1. 1-2 is a little more straightforward. Because the coin block is a little higher, I was only able to hit it like, what, 9 times, but I could have probably done it like 10, 12 times maybe. There's a hidden Invincibility star. And those bricks over there. And of course we can jump up here and just totally skip the level if we want to. Generally a lot of these underground levels, really there's only like, what, 2 of them really. Allow you to skip them completely. I left 1 brick there in order to be able to get the fire flower, otherwise there's no way you could get it. During some of the earlier levels, I attempted to go for all of the enemies, but then I just realized that it was kind of a wasted effort, ultimately. I mean, technically, I guess I could have gone by the same rules that I'd set out for, being able to get all the coins and all the secrets and just reload, maybe kill them all, but, you know, then we got buzzy beetles and whatnot. I just decided that, maybe in such a walkthrough, killing enemies is up to the player's discretion. I kinda just wanted to beat the game. In order to be able to get 5,000 points on the flagpole, you gotta get a bit of a running start, and then try to jump off of a platform at like the very last second. I'm actually not sure why some of the color palettes are messed up between levels when I recorded. I might have accidentally hit the palette switch on the back of my NES. I suppose I could start to talk about enemy mechanics a little more. Goombas just tend to only go one direction. They can bump into each other and change direction, but there's really not a whole lot to them. Turtles are kind of the same way, except it takes like one hit and then another hit to be able to kick them. But the red turtles will actually change direction whenever they hit a cliff. There's like 6 hidden blocks here. I think like at certain points in the level, maybe if you reach like a certain point, Bowser will throw 2 fireballs. Just like based on your position in the level. I'm actually not sure if it's I'm not sure if it's a completely random occurrence or not, but it feels like whenever I reach a specific part of the level, he might throw 2 fireballs and then just resume throwing 1 fireball. Green turtles can also be eliminated with fireballs. In 2-1 there is one secret. Trying not to scroll the screen too far here so that we can actually get all of the coins here. There's an Invincibility star right there. Get rid of these guys here. And then we'll make our way up the beanstalk to this bonus stage, which allows us to pretty much skip the level while also getting a bunch of coins. A lot of the reasons why I did all these different routes with save states was for the express reason of trying to figure out how to do this game no save, no damage. I think my best was maybe 5 hits so far, counting the deaths that I took, like the 1 or 2 deaths that I took. But once you lose your fire flower, the game just becomes exponentially more difficult. And like not even like a fun kind of difficulty. There is a mushroom or a fire flower in the brick that I'm trying to hit up here. But I have to, but it's like very precise. I'm actually not even sure what to do to be able to do it consistently. Because jumping on that coin block is about the only way you're able to get to it. Suffice it to say, that was a pain in the ass. Anyway, 2-1 again. Only we're going to take the normal route. So Mario's fireballs, they can arc, they can bounce around and stuff. But generally they're pretty safe as long as you're on the same level as the enemy. But they always travel downward in a diagonal fashion before they begin to bounce around until they go off the screen. So, being able to bounce Mario's fireballs is a pretty useful thing to do. So kind of snipe diagonally. Oh, actually, there is a second secret right here. My bad. But I'm pretty sure that's still every coin. Guess we're about to find out, huh? But basically, when enemies aren't coming at you from varied altitudes, like, you know, flying Koopas, Cheep Cheeps, bloopers, being on the same level as any ground enemy will pretty much guarantee kills, as long as you're, like, reasonably close to them. 9, 10. Oh yeah, it's like 9 that time. Once again, trying to get this stupid power-up. Honestly, this power-up up there is not worth it. Just like under any circumstances. Not unless you're like that afraid of dying. Because the 2,000 points is just not worth it overall, and you know you're going to get a lot more points off of being able to complete the level with what you have remaining on your timer. Got a hidden coin there. Makes it easier if you are, for whatever reason, unable to hit the trampoline there, but it'll probably be... I mean, it's a lot easier. There's an audio cue that lets you hit max height pretty easily in the Super Nintendo version. I might actually do the no save, no damage run on the Super Nintendo, just to be able to like talk about the differences there. Anyways, water physics. So Mario can turn instantaneously, as you can see. And it's a little easier to set up fireball trajectories, but you know, you just gotta make sure you're not gonna run out of space while doing so, because, you know, you can't scroll back. Something they rectified in Super Mario Bros. 2 and 3, fortunately. Man, I almost got hit like multiple times here. But if you don't have the momentum to avoid bloopers, just try to bounce the fireballs off of the top of like the red coral, and it actually gives your fireballs like a little bit more of an extension. So like sometimes I do that. But generally I want to try to take out the bloopers as quickly as possible. Another thing about bloopers is they will always try to match the height that you're at in the water. Otherwise you can just stay on the very bottom and the bloopers will eventually sink down. They'll still like bounce around when they reach a similar height as you, but generally it's a good way to sort of set up bloopers to be able to kill them while they're while Mario is on the bottom of the level. Not really sure you could call that the ocean floor technically. He's on the sea floor. Yeah, sure. Why not? So it was 2-2. 2-3 is so we got all these fish just jumping out of the water, and well, jumping out of nowhere, technically. I have no idea who came up with this, but the trick generally is if a fish is about to go over you, or is like about to, if it looks like it's about to hit you in the back, just slow down and let it pass over you. With a little bit of practice, they're not that difficult to avoid. But it's like not worth it to kill any of them. And they spawn infinitely. Alright, so for 2-4, this is pretty simple. So fire flower there. Then we're going to make sure that we go the bottom path and make sure we're at full speed before the first fire bar appears. Otherwise it'll mess up the cycle a little bit. You could also jump way above that fire bar, that last fire bar that I just jumped over. One other thing that I found for consistency's sake is you can actually kind of keep the last foxhole there, just like sort of on the screen, and still kind of like bait Bowser backwards, so you can just keep throwing fireballs, because Bowser's own fireballs will actually not hit you while you're in the foxhole, so you can actually cheese Bowser pretty easily that way. 3-1, first secret. Got a power up and plenty of coins down here. There's not really a whole lot to it. Hidden one up here, and then we're going to... Well, Well, there was an invincibility star right there, actually, that I completely missed. Wow, damn. I started grabbing that invincibility star. So, what I'm doing right here, do not attempt it, actually. The catapult is, trying to catapult in between the two bricks is bait. Ideally, you want to try to jump towards the beanstalk from where the Koopas are landing. Or, sorry, the Goombas are landing. You know, you kill the Goombas, and then you, try to go left, jump up, and, hug the brick while doing so. If I upload another Mario 1 video, which should be eventually, then you'll see what I'm talking about. But, I didn't actually do that this particular playthrough. You know, I suppose technically I call this an all coins playthrough, but I don't really get every coin, because I'm not, hitting all of these, hidden coin blocks in the optimal fashion. But here, 3-1 again. We're gonna do it without the use of the beanstalk this time. Sometimes dealing with enemies is just really risky. It is generally not worth it. I think for the time bonus, it's what, like 50 points for every second left on the timer. I'm not entirely sure how the timer works exactly. The game itself runs at like 21 frames per second, I think, or something like that. There we go. So we got the invincibility star that time. We only want to use the catapult to be able to jump on top of that set of 2 bricks there. I was about to completely eschew going through the beanstalk before I figured out that you could actually jump around the Koopas in order to be able to make that jump. Sometimes for the jumping Koopas, it's just better to like stay out the way. Just sort of snipe them. At least as far as safety is concerned. Because you're gonna have like a ton of chances to be able to get rid of them. So in 3-2, the second upper block has a star. But before we grab the star, we actually need to kill the there's a Koopa patrolling below, and he's guarding a hidden coin block. So kind of had to fall down and start mashing fireballs in order to kill him. But there, he's done, and there's a star, and now we can just run through the rest of the level. The rest of the level, not a big deal. There's nothing in that brick over there. It's bait. But the rest of the level falls very quickly. As a matter of fact, this level is completely 100% free. As long as you get the star, it's free. It's absolutely free. So in this one, I kind of tooled around with the treetop strats as I went along, but generally you want to wait for any enemies that can drop to drop. Just try to stay at the top of the treetops here, especially on 3-3. Once it gets to these moving platforms, then, you know, just keep staying at the top. Just, like, don't worry about it. But pretty much any level that has an invincibility star is like a guaranteed win. But I'll probably try to describe treetop levels a little more. It's like 5-3. is probably among the worst of those. So now we're on 4-1. Talk a little bit about Piranha plants. These spinies, you know, obviously you can't jump on them. They're meant for you to squirm around these dudes. But Lakitu over here, you know, we're just gonna get rid of him because fuck him, he's a piece of shit. Get the hell out of here, you nerd. He's just gonna get in the way while we collect coins. There he is again. But after grabbing the 1-up, we can take him out again. Kaboom. There's a hidden pipe. Let's see. After that stack of 3 solid blocks, it's like 1, it's like 2, I think. No. Okay, yeah. I go through 4-1 twice, actually, to be able to collect everything. But I guess I could talk a little bit about the Piranha plants here. In Classic Super Mario Bros. 1, I don't know if it's the same thing for the Game Boy Color version. Part of their upper hitbox does not exist, so you can just jump right through it if your angle is correct, but you can also prevent them from spawning if you just hug the pipe before proceeding. So if you're at a weird angle to be able to get around one of the Piranha plants, you know, you just stay this side of the pipe and you're good. There's a bonus in 4-1, and that's why we're going through the level again. What's interesting about Buzzy Beetles is whenever they fall, they change directions. I'm not actually sure if any of the green Koopas do that, but it does make Spinies kind of a pain in the ass. I think this is our pipe right here. So if we're still Big Mario, then we gotta engage in a little bit of fuckery in order to be able to go down the other way, so trying to do exactly that. Figure out how we're gonna do this. So we go the other way, and then trying to mash down so that we get just enough of a slide to be able to get under this brick. You can actually gain a little bit more speed if you jump, I think. And of course, I missed the power-up there. I feel like I was able to get another power-up like that in a future level, but I'm almost 100% sure you actually cannot grab that one when you're Big Mario. But that's okay. I tried to grab as many as I could. Okay, so for 4-2, I'm gonna take it pretty slow. Enemies don't fly, so we can just hang back and beat them all. So about like 6 bricks to the left, we start jumping. There's a hidden coin block there. There's a warp zone here as well. I forgot to mention warp zones. Where I just smacked those bricks right there, it was possible to hit the brick on the far left, and there would be a beanstalk there, which would take you to the warp world. So once we grab the Muteki Star, we can actually use that to take down the Buzzy Beetles. The Buzzy Beetles are completely invincible otherwise. And this you're probably wondering, well, how do I get those coins over there? And after we expend this hidden coin block over here, we can jump all the way up here, and then we got them. Bet you never would have figured that out. One of the interesting things about Super Mario Brothers is it's a very, very easy game to just pick up and play, but I think it actually has a very high skill ceiling, especially in competitive speedrunning. Though personally, it wouldn't be my choice of a speedrun. So once again, we're back in 4-2. I came back this way because surely there's something that I wanted to show off. I got like 13 there that time, but I missed a couple. Not gonna bother with the star here, I don't think. Oh, yep, I sure am. Damn past Carcy, what were you even doing? Was it necessary to go through this level twice? I don't think so. I must have accidentally put it in the video twice. Oh well. Oh wait, no. I found the secret area last time, right? Did I miss the secret? God damn it. I better check and make sure. Ah, whatever. I guess if I missed it, I'll just keep the video up on YouTube anyway. But I feel like I might have missed a secret. Anyway, 4-3. Gotta stay high on flats of land. Just try to nail fireballs. Try to clear everything, because if an enemy has a height advantage on you, then it is going to severely restrict your movement options whenever you actually have to jump to a higher platform. So you kind of don't want to... You kind of don't want to have... It's a pretty bad problem to have. We'll just say. Anyway, 4-4 is a puzzle level, meaning you have to take a very specific path in order to beat it. So for the first set, we're gonna go the top route. Then the second set, we're gonna drop down this hole over here. We're gonna watch for these two fire bars and just traverse like the lower side over here. And 4-4 is also very, very risky here. The foxhole strat I mentioned earlier, you definitely want to take advantage of that, because between the Podobo or whatever it's called, like the fireball and the fire bar, and Bowser throwing fireballs as well, it makes it an exceptionally risky level to be able to kill Bowser on. At least with the fireballs. Yeah, by the way, that's probably another thing that you noticed that you may not have done in your own playthrough. I think a lot of players just are usually small Mario by the time they hit Bowser, so, you know, they hit the axe in order to kill him. But you can actually use But you can actually use fireballs to take him down instead. As you can see, there was an invincibility star in the middle of the stage. Took advantage of that. Now we're gonna get out of here. The level is done. I personally don't care about nailing the flagpole every time. I don't think I would ever do a score attack of this game. Oh yeah, also, if you get to above 9 lives, then your life counter kind of glitches out. Ah shoot, I missed a fire flower actually. But that's probably fine and dandy because I think I went through... Oh, never mind. I was going to say I think I went through the beanstalk in 5-2 here, but... Nah, I took the blooper route. So in 5-2 there's multiple routes here. You know, you got your standard route, you got the blooper route, and then you have the beanstalk route. The beanstalk route is probably the safest, like straight up. But with the underwater route, like the blooper route, you can actually grab an invincibility star. Pretty handy. No reason to go after that Koopa up there. And there's actual gaps on the way to the flagpole here. I think this is probably one of the first levels that actually uses a lot of pit hazards in order to sort of still your progress. I think this might have been the route where I go beanstalk. But generally for 5-2, you absolutely need the fire flower because there are a crap ton of hammer bros in this level. So right about here, you know, get rid of this guy. After we hit that block, we have to hit that hidden block there in order to be able to hit the beanstalk block. And then be able to do the bonus level. In Super Mario All-Stars, the Super Nintendo version, it's actually a little bit easier to do this bonus stage because the platform is a lot wider. I think the jumping physics might also be a little bit altered as well. But for the most part, I mean, the jumping physics are pretty much the same. The only difference is, like, the enemy's hitboxes are better, so... we can't really, do things like jump through the piranha plants. And once again, 5-2. Only this time we are going through the normal route. You know, we're not getting any secrets or anything like that. Still gonna collect every coin in our way, though. So I probably noticed that, like, whenever I go through different rounds of this, I don't collect the coin, or I don't collect every coin, like, every time. I felt it was a little superfluous to try to collect every coin more than once. So there was like an incidental, you know, just try to collect every coin, every unique coin is basically what I was going after. Like every unique coin, every unique power-up. course, this is a bit of a pain in the ass. If we took the blooper route, we wouldn't need to worry about this. There's another power-up right here. Of course, that was the Muteki Star. And basically going like the standard route through 5-2 is just like not worth it under any circumstances. You should at least take the blooper route if you're going to. I think blooper route might actually be better for score. If I had to take a guess, might actually be pretty cool to look up a score attack of this game. "5-3 is another treetop platform level. Serious pain in the ass because there's bullet bills firing everywhere. The thing about this level is to wait until the bullet bills are on the screen before you move, so that you actually know where you need to jump. So, you know, giving yourself, you know, a couple of extra tenths of a second to decide where you need to jump. And it should also be noted that bullet bills, whenever they run into Goombas, it will actually change the position that the Goomba is walking, so you want to try to kill the Goombas first. Like, be extra careful. I took a lot of unnecessary risks in this 5-3. But in general, you want to take 5-3 pretty slow. The jumps are not difficult, so it's pretty easy to do, like, you know, just kind of a stop-go thing. That big fireball is horrible. It's awful. Don't do what I did with those fireballs there. Just wait for all of them to pass, like all those fire bars. I'm pretty sure this level is just 2-4, only with a lot more hazards anyway. I think it looks pretty much exactly like 2-4. Except it actually has, like, fire bars that are actually risky. I should probably take a look at the maps on both of those again at some point. Alright, 6-1. 6-1 is another Lakitu level, but there's no invincibility stars or anything here. There's plenty of power-ups, plenty of hidden 1-ups, but in general, we want to try to get rid of the Lakitu as quickly as possible. Generally, I like to call the invincibility stars Muteki stars. Muteki pretty much means invincible, but also rolls off a little bit easier than saying invincibility. Or like invincible. I don't know, it just kind of rolls off the tongue a little easier. So, I'll just start calling them Muteki stars from now on. For 6-2, there's 2 pipe warps. The first one is right off the bat, and allows us to skip over quite a few of these Piranha plants. This is a very Piranha plant heavy level, but it's got multiple routes too, I think. Well, like, I mean, more multiple routes in relation to the normal, like the normal passage through the level, so... Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so 6-2 does have an underwater section. I suppose I could talk a little bit more about the fish as well, which I didn't do earlier. The gray fish go slow, red fish go fast. I'm actually not sure what influences certain fish to change height. I don't know if they are... I don't know if they come in at like fixed intervals as well. But basically, like, which fish you get, and whether it goes up or down, and, like, what position it spawns in, is pretty random. But I have no idea if it's a finite number of fish, or anything like that. Man, there is a lot of bonuses in 6-2. So I decided to get rid of all these bricks here so that I might be able to try getting that power up there. And sure enough, I got it. Dang, I could have done that in that other level. That's okay, though. So 6-3, oh, we're still on 6-2, dang, we didn't even take the normal route yet. Nor do we actually take the, the beanstalk route, so... Gonna have to go through all of this. I think the beanstalk routes actually took me the longest to record because of the last section with the 3 coins at the very end. So for these, you know, trying to go as high as possible, and 1 block gaps, you can just run right over them. Like, you just hold B and hold right, and Mario will just run right over them. It's all gravy. These last 3 piranha plants over here, you know, just kind of hug the sides. So there's another 6-2. Normal route this time. Man, I really hope I didn't mess up 4-2. That would really suck if I did. Instead of taking the beanstalk, we're just going to jump around all these piranha plants, which is kind of a pain in the ass. These buzzy beetles don't make things any easier either. Buzzy beetles are actually pretty shitty. Just not being able to kill them unless something else like bumps into them, like a Koopa shell or something. So next up, 6-3. So we gotta try to stay as high as possible. Actually jump on top of this brick or jump on top of this block with the power up here. Be perfectly fine. We don't really gotta worry about, like, keeping these platforms as high as possible. So right about here, bullet bills show up. Just do the same as in chapter 5-3. and just try to wait for them to be on screen, but we still have to juggle that with staying as high as possible. Overall, 6-3 is not terrible, but I would say here's where the game will really start to fuck you over, especially if you don't have a fire flower. So, Potobos, fire bars, getting that power up there is not worth it. You can see I almost got hit there. I'm pretty sure this is 1-4, only with different timing for all the bars, so... Wow, as a matter of fact, it is 1-4, what the hell? Yeah, so... developers actually recycled a lot of levels here. And 6-4 is also where Bowser starts throwing hammers as well, so we gotta account for that too. He throws them pretty far away, but if you do the foxhole strat that I mentioned before, then it's not an issue. So 7-1 is the first bullet bill level. That power up block there is only worth it if you do not have a fire flower, because otherwise, you know, you just straight up can't get it. So I got like 7 there. It is possible to get like, I don't know, 9 or 10 off of that, probably before the bullet bill shows up. When you're dealing with these Hammer Bros sections here, you can just jump it. Just like bounce the fireballs and just try to get them from far away. That's about the only way to consistently deal with Hammer Bros. Hammer Bros are a fucking terrible enemy, by the way. I'm so glad that they got nerfed in Super Mario Bros. 3. It's just like the way they randomly throw the fireballs, or throw their hammers everywhere. And I mean, not just like random, as in like, you know, like trajectories. It's like the trajectory is like semi-random. It's like all manner of speeds. You know, it all comes at random intervals. It's like, what an awful enemy. There's 7-2 now, so we gotta stay high. And, if for whatever reason we can't pass, then we gotta make sure that we have enough room to be able to fireball everything. But, killing bloopers is pretty necessary here. Once again, in order to do bloopers efficiently, you know, you just, you wanna stay to the bottom and let them sink down. I just sort of muscle my way through all of these. Like, a lot of the strats that I found to make the levels safer happened like way after I was recording these videos. So if we're looking for like an absolute, if we're looking for like the absolute safest strats that I could come up with, short of maybe co-opting some speedrun strats, then I'll, you know, I'll definitely do like a no damage run without save states. One other thing to note is if there's a pit at the bottom of one of these water stages, then Mario will just like steadily get sucked into it. I guess it's like realistic undertow physics or something. Ha! Well, I mean, realistic in relation to what you would see on the Nintendo. You can tell that's what they were going for. Dude, I really, really wish bloopers had collision boxes. That is such bullcrap. They just get to go wherever they want. 7-3 is another level like 2-3, where these fish are jumping everywhere. Obvious thing about this is just try to take it slow and let them pass over you when you need to. But overall, still a pretty random, pretty horrible level. One more Fire Flower is useful, though. In 7-4, start with falling blocks. Is another, it's another puzzle level, so we go low, medium platform, high platform, and then for the second one here, we have to jump over here, and we have to stay on these medium platforms. We can fall through these pits and still be able to proceed. And then we go high for the last one. Let's try to kill that before the other Podobos showed up. It's very, very low risk level. Bowser is the only actual threat. So a lot of pitfalls here. Basically, this level is all about keeping up your momentum. Of course, we can't always keep up our momentum because there's some pretty gnarly jumps that we have to do later in the stage. But in order to maintain maximum jump height and be able to keep from falling places, it's basically a matter of getting to max speed and jumping and letting, you know, sort of letting enemies fall through pits, stuff like that. So we gotta wait for it to start bouncing down and then time it and then start running. And so we got maximum max speed right here, just to run into everything. Got the false end right here. Fuck that Buzzy Beetle. And that jump is a little difficult. I would definitely recommend being at full speed before you hit it, but it'll definitely take some practice in order to hit correctly. I think 8-1 might actually probably be like the hardest level in the game. Next to 6-4. I think 6-4 is a lot harder actually. So we bounced a Fire Flower off of the top of that. Get wrecked Lakitu. And we got our 1-up. And we are out of here. You could actually avoid all of those jumping Koopas if you just go around the 1-up and then try to go high. Also, these bullet bills come out very, very fast in 8-2. But after 8-2, if you still have a Fire Flower, then you're safe for the rest of the game. So, I'm going to try to use this as an opportunity to get and keep a Fire Flower, because everything else is actually very risky. A little bit of a callback to 7-1 there. And over here, this is that particular jump there. What you want to do is you want to start your momentum by jumping off the left side of the pipe so that you land on the first tall platform and then the second tall platform, and then whenever you land on the second tall platform, that's how you gain enough speed to be able to jump. That's like the noob killer right there. Like, that is an exceptionally difficult jump. I would wager that like a lot of people have not completed Super Mario Bros. Just simply because of that jump. So 8-3 is pretty flat. You know, it's the procession to the final level. Really, all you gotta do is just dodge the bullet bills and try to fireball as many enemies as possible. Only there's Hammer Brothers on flat, like on flat areas of land, and you have to either run past them or kill them with a fireball. So this level, if you are Small Mario, is completely RNG. It is actually very unfair. After beating the Hammer Bros, you can actually hit the blocks like on their platforms and be able to get power-ups. That was probably like the last power-up in the game, even. But right about here, like if you're going to have any chance of consistently beating this, you need a Fire Flower. Otherwise, it's all luck jumping up and around the Hammer Bros. There might be some way to manipulate the RNG or the pseudo-RNG in a speedrun to be able to get them to be in the same places, but I'm actually not sure of how that would work. Try to get to that bottom step before I jump over the lava, because if we go full momentum, then we're just going to fall into the lava.